Number 13. The land of a million elephants in the heart of Southeast Asia. Located in Southeast Asia, Laos is surrounded by Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, and China. It is the only landlocked country in the region, lacking a seaport and direct access to the ocean. For many countries, the sea is a convenient route for connecting to global trade, but for Laos, goods wishing to reach the world must first overcome mountain ranges, international border crossings, and seaports belonging to neighboring countries. This geographical isolation has profoundly affected transportation, the economy, and even the rhythm of life in the country for centuries. This landlocked nation covers an area of approximately 236,800 square kilometers, equivalent to 91,400 square miles, and is smaller than the U.S. state of Oregon. On world maps, it ranks around 82nd in terms of area, but much of its territory is difficult to access. Within its borders lie mist-shrouded valleys, sheer limestone cliffs, rivers winding through dense forests, and countless villages scattered across the mountain slopes. In many places, life still operates according to familiar natural patterns. People wake up when the sun rises, go to the fields according to the rainy season, and return home as the last light of day fades behind the mountains. Laos currently has a population of approximately 7-8 million people, equivalent to the population of a major city in the world. However, instead of being concentrated in densely populated urban areas, the majority of the population is distributed across a vast land of forests, mountains, and plateaus. This fragmented topography is what creates one of Laos's most fascinating characteristics: its exceptional cultural diversity. Over 49 ethnic groups live together here. Each community may possess its own language, clothing, music, beliefs, and customs passed down through generations. In the lowlands, people mainly speak Lao, a language with many similarities to Thai. But further into the mountainous regions, visitors can encounter completely different accents, clothing patterns, and rituals. There are villages that are only a few hours' drive apart, but feel like they belong to two separate worlds. Therefore, Laos is not simply a small country nestled among larger neighbors. For centuries, it has been a crossroads of trade routes, ethnic communities, and diverse cultures of Southeast Asia. From the 14th to the 18th centuries, the Lan Xang kingdom flourished in this region. The name Lan Xang is often translated as Land of a Million Elephants. If you also want to explore the mysteries hidden behind this land, don't forget to subscribe to this journey to discover where it will take you. The name itself carried the resonance of royal power, the richness of the forests, and long-standing prestige. At that time, elephants played a crucial role in warfare, transportation, labor, and royal ceremonies. They appeared alongside kings, participated in the army, and became symbols of spiritual strength. But today, the name Land of a Million Elephants carries a sad contrast. It is estimated that fewer than 1,000 elephants remain in Laos, including both wild and domesticated elephants. Habitat loss, poaching, and deforestation have caused a dramatic decline in the number of this iconic animal. A country once known for its countless elephant herds now struggles to protect the small remaining population. This is one of the silent tragedies hidden behind the verdant beauty of Laos. The topography also explains much of the challenges the country faces. Approximately 80% of Laos's land area is covered by mountains and hills. The continuous green mountain ranges, remote plateaus, and complex river systems make the landscape spectacular. However, this very beauty makes the construction of roads, bridges, and infrastructure more expensive. In Laos, a road is not simply a layer of asphalt laid on the ground. It must be built through dense forests, along cliffs, over rivers and streams, and connect communities separated by vast geographical distances. Transportation obstacles also directly affect the pace of economic development. In 2024, Laos's gross domestic product reached approximately $16.5 billion, while GDP per capita was around $2,124. This figure is still quite modest compared to some neighboring countries with larger populations and economies. It also partly explains why the pace of life in Laos is much slower than in many urban centers in the region. Laos is neither as bustling as Bangkok, nor as noisy as Ho Chi Minh City. In Vientiane, traffic is generally calmer, small markets open slowly, and people are less caught up in the fast-paced rhythm of megacities. The country moves at its own pace, shaped by its topography, history, and the adaptability of its people. However, that tranquility doesn't mean Laos is standing still. One of the most significant changes occurred in 2021 when the Laos-China Railway officially opened. The project, with a total investment of approximately $6 billion, is one of the largest infrastructure projects ever built in Laos. The entire line stretches approximately 621.37 miles, connecting the capital Vientiane with China's railway network. For a country once isolated by mountains, borders, and distances from seaports, this railway line holds more significance than just a means of transportation. It opens up the possibility of faster freight transport, attracts more tourists, and connects Laos more closely with regional economies. It can be seen as a new lifeline through the highlands, bringing a landlocked country closer to international trade routes. Number 12. The quiet beauty of Laotian Wom. Observe the women who are quietly preserving the rhythm of life, family, and culture of this land. They don't try to attract attention with ostentatious appearances, but it is their calmness, simplicity, and grace that makes it hard for others to look away. At sunset by the Mekong River, in the soft golden light of the late afternoon, visitors may encounter Lao women walking in their traditional sash. This is a long, hand-woven skirt, usually fitted around the waist and falling near the ankles. Each color and pattern on the fabric can carry its own story. Some patterns depict the Naga serpent, a sacred animal associated with water, protection, prosperity, and Buddhist beliefs in Laos. Other designs use images of tigers or other forest animals to represent courage, strength, and respect for nature. In a country where rivers, mountains, and spiritual life are closely intertwined, a piece of cloth can become a book telling the history of a community. By simply observing the weaving technique, thread color, and patterns, locals can sometimes recognize which region or ethnic group the wearer. However, the beauty of Laotian women lies not only in their traditional attire, it often manifests in their serene faces, gentle voices, subtle smiles, and unhurried manner of interacting with those around them. It's a beauty not created to impress strangers. It's formed naturally from family, temples, village markets, rice fields, and the river that has nourished their lives. Many women still maintain body care methods passed down through their families. Turmeric can be used to care for the skin, while coconut oil is used to nourish hair and protect it from the hot, humid climate. These aren't luxury products advertised under the bright lights of shopping malls. They are small habits in daily life, passed down from grandmothers and mothers through generations. But in rural areas, Lao women possess more than just beauty and gentleness. They also play a vital role in most family activities. Their day may begin before sunrise. They light the fire, prepare sticky rice, care for children, garden, take goods to the market, or participate in farm work. Upon returning home, many continue weaving, preparing meals, and guiding their children and grandchildren in traditional customs. In many villages, the rhythmic sound of looms is not just the sound of work. It is also the sound of a culture being preserved through each thread. Each piece of fabric can take days, even weeks, to complete depending on the complexity of the pattern. The weaving technique not only creates clothing, but also helps women earn extra income from markets, craft shops, and tourism. Thanks to this, a long-standing traditional craft can continue to exist in modern society. In love and family life, Lao women often express their emotions in a gentler way, rather than directly. A glance, a shy smile, or a small gesture of care sometimes carries more meaning than lengthy words. This discretion is also evident in family and community ceremonies. One of the most prominent rituals is the Bachi ceremony, also known as So Kwan. During the ceremony, family members and elders gather around an altar decorated with flowers, food, and items, symbolizing good fortune. They recite blessings to wish for health, peace, harmony, and protection for the attendees. Then, white threads are tied around the wrists. These small threads symbolize the desire to retain good fortune and to ensure the wearer's safety, love, and peace. Women often play a crucial role in preparing and maintaining such rituals. Through seemingly small tasks, they help ensure that family values continue to be passed down. However, Lao women are not confined to the image of the countryside or old customs. In Vientiane, Luang Prabang, and many developing cities, a generation of modern women is increasingly emerging. They study at universities, work as teachers, run shops, manage hotels, participate in the tourism industry, and build their own businesses. Many use foreign languages to work with tourists or international partners. They can use smartphones, work on computers, and access new opportunities that previous generations never had. One day, a woman might wear a traditional dress to attend a ceremony at a temple. The next day, she might sit in a cafe with her laptop, planning for work, studies, or a trip. These two images are not contradictory. They show Lao women learning to enter the modern world without abandoning their roots. It is this balance that makes their image special. They may be discreet, but not weak. They may be gentle, but not passive. They may be modern, but still cherish family, traditional clothing, and ancestral rituals. That quietness doesn't mean they're always reserved. This is most evident in the Bun Pai Mai festival, the traditional Lao New Year. When the festival begins, the usually quiet streets are filled with music, laughter, and splashes of water as a blessing. Women dress in vibrant costumes, participate in parades, and happily mingle with the crowds. Those who usually appear reserved in their daily lives may become open, confident, and full of energy at this moment. They splash water on friends, relatives, and even strangers as a way of washing away the misfortunes of the past year. In that moment, the quiet beauty of Lao women transforms into a joyful and vibrant energy. It is the ability to adapt to change without losing one's identity. Behind those gentle smiles lies a world of tradition, discipline, family duty, and modern ambition that outsiders rarely see. And once you begin to realize that, Laos no longer feels like a silent country. It's more like a place where strength is expressed subtly. If the quiet beauty and strength of Laotian women have helped you see this country in a different light, please like and subscribe to the channel, because Laos still has many undiscovered stories waiting for us on the other side of the mountain road. Number 11. Two worlds in one country. In Laos, just crossing a few mountain ranges can make you feel like you've stepped from one world into another. To witness this contrast, the journey shouldn't begin in the capital, Vientiane, but in the villages deep in the mountains. Here, mornings emerge from the thin mist, roosters crow, and smoke rises from the bamboo roofs. Time isn't measured by traffic lights, meeting schedules, or work hours. It moves with the sunlight, the rainy season, the rice harvest, and the trails leading into the forest. The wooden stilt houses are built high above the ground to avoid dampness, insects, and flooding during the rainy season. The walls are usually woven from bamboo, while the roofs are thatched with leaves, straw, or old corrugated iron sheets. To enter, one must climb a wooden ladder, worn smooth by countless footsteps. Below the stilts, chickens scratch the ground for food, pigs lie in pens, and cows rest in the shade. There are no modern amenities or expensive furniture, but all aspects of family, work, and community life unfold clearly before our eyes. Women often wake up early to light the fire, pound rice, prepare sticky rice, and care for their children. In areas without convenient water systems, they have to wash clothes by the stream or carry water from a source quite far from their home. A meal can be prepared for multiple generations living under one roof. From grandparents and parents to children and grandchildren, neighbors can also drop by at any time and are welcomed naturally as members of the family. As midday approached, the small village market began to fill with people. There were no rows of uniformly packaged goods or flashy advertising signs. Instead, there was wild honey, herbs, vegetables, sticky rice, bamboo baskets, handcrafted knives, and silver jewelry. Each product reflected the resources, skills, and way of life of the surrounding community. However, beneath the peaceful landscape of the fields and villages lies a dark memory. Laos continues to bear the scars of war, even though the conflict ended decades ago. In some rural areas, landmines and unexploded ordnance may still lie in fields, forests, or near roads. They make farming, construction, and travel dangerous in many areas. For the local people, war is not just a memory in history books. It is still present in the very land they cultivate every day. In some places, old bomb casings are repurposed to make house pillars, fences, plant pots, or as raw materials for making metal objects. Things once created to destroy are now transformed into tools for daily life. And it is at this point that the strength of the Lao people becomes unforgettable. They don't explain their resilience with eloquent speeches. They demonstrate it through calm faces, patient hands, and a gentle greeting gesture of clasping their palms together. In daily life, Lao people often use the phrase "bo pen yang," which can be roughly translated as "it's okay" or "no problem." This phrase doesn't mean that all difficulties can be ignored. It reflects an attitude of calmness, patience, and not letting anger weigh down life. But as you leave the mountain villages and head toward the cities, a different face of Laos gradually emerges. In Vientiane and Luang Prabang, evenings are illuminated by markets nestled along the Mekong River. Visitors leisurely stroll past stalls selling handicrafts, woven fabrics, lanterns, clothing, and souvenirs. Street food stalls serve sticky rice, grilled meats, noodles, and Lao beer in a tranquil setting. The pace of life remains much slower than in many of the region's larger cities. However, there are now hotels, cafes, restaurants, and services catering to the growing number of international tourists. Further north, particularly in certain areas of Bokeo province, the contrast becomes even more pronounced. Neon lights illuminate hotels, casinos, karaoke bars, and entertainment venues that have flourished thanks to border trade and foreign investment. Signs in multiple languages appear alongside the Lao script. Modern structures spring up in a land previously known primarily for its mountains and small communities. After a day traveling through mist-shrouded villages and smoke-filled kitchens, the scene might make visitors feel as if they have stepped into another country. That is the striking contrast of Laos. On one side are night markets, hotels, cold beer, neon signs, and rapidly accelerating economic activity. One world still lives almost entirely in tune with nature. The other world is increasingly influenced by tourism, foreign investment, and cross-border trade. But whether in mountain villages or amidst brightly lit city streets, the Lao people retain a readily apparent characteristic, that is, calmness, patience, and adaptability without ostentation. These two worlds are not entirely separate. They coexist and influence each other daily. If this contrast surprises you, please subscribe, because behind Laos's slow-paced exterior lies many aspects that most tourists have never truly seen. Number 10. Lao cuisine flavors that leave you indecisive. In Laos, a proper meal often begins with a small bamboo basket placed in the center of the table. Inside aren't elaborate dishes or expensive ingredients, but rather handfuls of steaming white sticky rice. For Laotians, sticky rice is more than just a side dish. It's the heart of the meal, appearing everywhere from family kitchens and roadside eateries to festivals and religious ceremonies. Sticky rice is soaked in water, placed in a bamboo basket, and steamed until each grain is soft and chewy, but not mushy. Once cooked, the sticky rice is placed in a lidded woven basket to keep it warm and prevent it from drying out. Laotians typically don't eat sticky rice with a spoon. They use their hands to take a small portion, roll it into a ball, and then dip it in sauce or eat it with grilled meat, herbs, and mixed dishes. This way of eating makes the meal more intimate, leisurely, and sharing. If sticky rice is the foundation of a meal, then lap sausage is one of the dishes that best showcases the flavors of Lao cuisine. Lap can be made from minced beef, pork, chicken, duck, or fish. It is usually served with sticky rice and fresh vegetables to balance the flavors. Grilled chicken is a popular dish found in markets and street food stalls. The chicken is marinated with lemongrass, garlic, fish sauce, and local spices before being placed on a charcoal grill. During the grilling process, the skin gradually turns golden brown, while the meat inside remains tender and fragrant. The aroma of grilled chicken mixed with charcoal smoke can entice tourists to stop at a stall even before seeing the dish. It's the most rustic, familiar, and accessible flavor in Lao cuisine. But as you venture deeper into the market, the choices become more abundant and varied. Another almost unmissable dish is tam mak hung, a Laotian green papaya salad. The papaya is shredded and then pounded in a mortar with chili peppers, garlic, fish sauce, lime juice, and other characteristic flavorings. All ingredients are pounded and mixed directly so that the flavors permeate each strand of papaya. The dish has a strong, spicy, distinctly sour, salty flavor, and sometimes a rather unusual fermented taste for first-time eaters. But even a small bite can make your face flush, and you'll immediately need a handful of sticky rice to soothe the spiciness. The forests and mountains also provide the Laotian people with many ingredients that foreigners rarely see in their daily meals. At some local markets, visitors can find fried insects, spiders, or other seasonal foods gathered by locals from the forest. After being cleaned and fried in hot oil, the spider's legs can become crispy. While the body has a softer and fattier texture, the mere appearance of the dish is enough to make many people pause and consider for quite a while before taking the first bite. This is not a dish found in every family or on every table in Laos. However, its presence in some markets shows the ability of local communities to utilize natural food resources. Another ingredient that comes from the forest is red ant eggs. These small, ivory-white eggs are usually harvested seasonally and used in soups, salads, or stir-fries with herbs. Ant eggs have a slightly fatty, soft texture and sometimes a natural sourness. When combined with chili peppers, lime leaves, and wild herbs, they create a flavor very different from regular meats. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a night market by the Mekong River. Surrounding you are the sizzling sound of grilled meat on charcoal, the aroma of lemongrass and chili filling the air, baskets of hot sticky rice being opened constantly, and the chatter from roadside stalls. In front of you are golden brown grilled chicken, a plate of spicy papaya salad, a bowl of soup with mai sakan, a type of Chinese sausage, red ant eggs, and even dishes made from insects. Which dish would you choose first? Let me know in the comments below. Number 9. Taboos tourists need to know. In Laos, respect isn't always expressed through words. Sometimes, it's in how you sit, the position of your feet, the volume of your voice, and your attitude when faced with an unfavorable situation. On the surface, life here seems slow and relaxed, but behind that peaceful pace are rules of conduct that have existed for generations. They are rarely written on large warning signs. However, even a single, thoughtless gesture can make a local person feel disrespected. Imagine stepping into a temple in Luang Prabang, Vientiane, or any small town in Laos. The atmosphere inside is usually quiet, with the faint scent of incense and the soft sound of footsteps on the stone floor. Buddha statues are placed in prominent positions, while monks in their orange-yellow robes move silently through the temple grounds. In that space, how you act is just as important as the words you speak. One thing tourists need to pay special attention to is their interactions with monks. According to Buddhist rules practiced in Laos, monks avoid direct physical contact with women. Therefore, women should not touch monks or directly place an item in their hands. If you need to give food, money, or an item, you can place it in a suitable location for the monk to receive it himself. This is not an act of discrimination against tourists. It is part of the monastic precepts and life that the local people always strive to respect. Even when a monk walks by, visitors should maintain a respectful distance and avoid accidentally touching his robes. Inside the temple grounds, attire should also be carefully chosen. Shoulders and knees should be covered, especially when entering the main hall or worship areas. When sitting on the floor in the temple or during a ceremony, visitors should fold their legs to one side or keep them tucked behind them. It may seem like a small detail, but in Laos, the way you position your feet sometimes conveys more than an apology that may be spoken afterward. Now, stepping out of the temple and into a local home, the rules don't disappear, they just become more discreet. The first thing to do is observe the footwear at the door. In most Lao families, guests are expected to remove their shoes before entering the living space. If unsure, observe how the host or other guests behave. Inside the house, one should speak at a moderate volume and avoid making unnecessary loud noises. Lao culture is deeply influenced by Buddhism and folk beliefs. Therefore, a house is not just a place for the people living there. In the beliefs of some communities, it is also a space connected to ancestors, spirits, and invisible forces that protect the family. This explains why many seemingly small customs are still maintained. some customs may surprise visitors even more. Some families still avoid getting haircuts on Wednesdays or washing their hair on Thursdays. In modern cities, these beliefs may be more flexible, but in rural areas, old habits still hold significant importance. In public places, gentleness remains a key principle. Traffic in Laos may not be perfectly orderly, but it generally moves at a much slower pace than many major cities in the region. Drivers generally refrain from using their horns unless absolutely necessary. Repeated honking can be interpreted as impatience or aggression. When renting a motorbike or driving yourself, tourists should observe the local traffic rhythm instead of bringing their hurried driving habits from elsewhere. If stopped by police or other authorities, loud arguments usually don't resolve the issue. Furthermore, overly intimate gestures between couples should be limited in public. Holding hands is generally fine, but overly ostentatious hugging and kissing may be considered inappropriate, especially in rural areas, temples, and places with many elderly people. Laos doesn't require tourists to memorize every custom before arriving. What matters is your attitude when you realize your mistake. A sincere apology, a slight bow, and a willingness to adjust are often enough to resolve most misunderstandings. The secret to good travel in Laos isn't trying to act like the locals. It lies in the ability to observe. Number 8. One of the most affordable resort destinations in Southeast Asia. Laos isn't cheap because it's sparsely populated. It seems cheap because life here is simpler, slower paced, and emphasizes simplicity. While many destinations attract tourists with luxury hotels, shopping malls, and bustling entertainment districts, Laos offers a completely different experience. Its mountain roads, the sound of temple bells, riverside night markets, and quiet afternoons by the Mekong River. With budget travel, a day in Laos can cost as little as $11 for basic meals, local transportation, and some simple activities. In the capital city of Vientiane, a single person might need around $1,000 to $1,200 per month to cover rent, food, transportation, and essential services. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center can cost between $300 and $600 per month. If the apartment is fully furnished, has air conditioning, and good Wi-Fi, the price can increase to around $800. The cost of food is one of the most attractive aspects for tourists. A local meal typically costs between $1 and $3, with options like sticky rice, grilled chicken, noodles, papaya salad, or traditional vegetable dishes. Even at restaurants serving Western food, a meal is usually under $15. Electricity, water, and internet bills can range from $50 to $120 per month, depending on accommodation and usage. These figures make Laos a noteworthy option for long-stay travelers, remote workers, or those seeking a slower pace of life. Therefore, living frugally in Laos means accepting a slower pace of life and fewer choices compared to Bangkok or Ho Chi Minh City. But for many travelers, that's precisely what makes the country so appealing. They come for the affordability, but stay longer for the morning markets, the tranquil temples, the green mountains, and the moment the Mekong River turns golden at sunset. In Laos, saving money isn't just about spending less. It's also about the opportunity to realize that a journey can still be enriching, even when things are simpler. Number 7. Laos and the festivals you should not miss. If you think Laos is just quiet temples, slow-flowing rivers, and mist-shrouded villages, wait until the festival season. Then, this tranquil country suddenly comes alive with drums, music, boat races, and laughter echoing through the streets. Most famous is Bun Pi Mai, the traditional Lao New Year, usually celebrated in April, the hottest time of the year. People visit temples, bathe Buddha statues with fragrant water, and offer blessings to elders. After the solemn ceremonies, the streets transform into lively water-splashing celebrations. In Luang Prabang, locals and tourists splash water on each other, hoping to wash away bad luck and start a prosperous new year. Another unique festival is held in Xayaburi province, where the image of elephants evokes the ancient name of Laos, land of a million elephants. During the festival, elephants are bathed, fed, dressed in colorful fabrics, and appear with their caretakers before large crowds. This is not only an entertainment activity, but also an opportunity to remind the community of the role of elephants in history and the need to protect this symbolic animal. When the rainy season arrives, people gather along the Mekong River to participate in the Baon Swang Hoa boat racing festival. Long boats speed across the water, while dozens of oarsmen coordinate in unison. The sound of oars, drums, and cheers from both banks create one of the most vibrant scenes of the year. But perhaps the most surprising is Baon Bang Phai, the rocket festival held at the end of the dry season. People build rockets from bamboo and propellant and launch them into the sky to pray for rain, a bountiful harvest, and fertility. Some rockets weigh only about 22 pounds, but larger ones can weigh hundreds of kilograms. When they are launched, smoke fills the air, explosions resound, and the crowd cheers. Lao festivals are not just held to attract tourists. They reflect the connection between people and water, crops, animals, ancestors, and beliefs passed down through generations. Visiting Laos during a festival season, you will see a completely different country. It's still the quiet and slow-paced Laos, but now awakened by colors, sounds, and a strong sense of community. Number 6. Laos, a land of unresolved mysteries. A land of unsolved mysteries. Scattered across the hills of northern Laos are thousands of stone jars. They are so large, ancient, and silent that no one can fully explain who left them. This is the Stone Jar region in Shenghua province, one of Southeast Asia's most bizarre archaeological landscapes. Over 2,000 massive stone jars are scattered across the hills and meadows. Some stand alone, while others cluster together like remnants of a forgotten ancient burial ground. Many of the jars are approximately 2,000 years old and are carved from sandstone, granite, and other natural rocks. What makes this place mysterious is that no one knows for sure what they were created for. One theory suggests that the jars were once used to ferment rice wine in ancient rituals. Some researchers suggest they are related to burial customs, as human remains and numerous burial artifacts have been found nearby. But who transported these heavy stones up the hills and why they were placed there remains a mystery. In 2019, the Plain of Jars was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. However, that title still doesn't answer the biggest question: who created these stone jars, and how did that civilization disappear? From archaeological mystery, the journey continues to a spiritual space nestled beside the Mekong River. Near Luang Prabang, the Paku Caves open up between limestone cliffs like a dark crevice overlooking the river. Inside the caves are thousands of Buddha statues of varying sizes and ages. Some are made of wood, others of stone or metal. Some statues remain intact, but others have cracked and faded over the centuries. Heading south, the the Mekong River becomes ferocious at Khon Phafeng Falls. Water cascades over the rocky rapids with such force that the entire area trembles with a continuous roar. Local people have long told stories of the river's spirits and the giant creatures hidden beneath its waters. The most famous of these is the Mekong giant catfish, a freshwater fish that can grow nearly 10 feet long and weigh up to 660 pounds. Just imagining such a large creature moving beneath the murky brown waters is enough to understand why the Mekong River has always inspired both respect and awe in people. Number 5. Beetle fighting in Laos. In Laos, even the tiniest creature can become the center of attention for an entire afternoon in the countryside. When the rainy season arrives, the forests become damp and insects begin to appear in greater numbers. Children, farmers, and elders gather under wooden roofs to watch a special game, beetle fighting. The chosen fighters are usually male rhinoceros beetles, with sturdy bodies and prominent curved horns. People find them on tree trunks or along forests after the rain. A good beetle doesn't just need to be large. Players also observe its grip strength, reflexes, strong legs, and the shape of its horns. To tourists, the beetles may look almost identical, but experienced people can recognize which one is faster, stronger, or more resilient. The arena is very simple, usually just a log with small grooves for the beetles to cling to. The handler may use a thin stick to create vibrations, or place a female beetle nearby to stimulate the competitive instincts of the two males. When the match begins, the two beetles slowly approach and touch their horns together. Then, they use their strength to push, pinch, or lift their opponent off the wooden surface. The beetle that is flipped over, runs away, or falls out of the arena is considered the loser. What attracts viewers is not the violence, it's a scene of two tiny creatures fighting with strength and ferocity far exceeding their size. The fights are usually quick and rarely result in serious injuries to the insects. After the season ends, many are released back into the forest where they were found. Here, entertainment is sometimes derived from nature itself and the simplest things around the village. If you're also surprised by the battle of these two tiny fighters, please like and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring lesser-known customs in Laos. Number 4. Pre-marriage rituals in Laos. In Laos, marriage is more than just a promise between two people. It is also a connection between two families, a responsibility to the community, and a significant turning point in one's spiritual life. In some communities, before marriage, a man may spend about 3 months living in a temple. He shaves his head, wears a monk's robe, wakes up before dawn, and follows the disciplines of Buddhist life. Instead of thinking about wedding feasts and celebrations, he learns to live simply, chant scriptures, control his emotions, and set personal desires aside. During this time, he mainly ate food offered by the villagers and participated in daily chores at the temple. For many families, this is not a punishment, but a preparation process. A man who is patient, respectful of elders, and responsible is considered more ready for married life. Because in Laos, marriage is not just about choosing the person you love, it is also a commitment to care for the family, respect ancestors, and overcome difficulties together. If you believe that love needs enough patience to become a family, please comment 1 below. Number 3. Community wedding in Laos. In many Lao villages, weddings are not just a private affair between the bride and groom. It's the day two families officially unite, and the entire community joins in the celebration. From early morning, smoke rises from the hearths, children run between houses, and adults begin preparing for the ceremony. There's no need for a lavish wedding hall or a professional organizing team. Everyone in the village finds a part to do. Some bring vegetables, others prepare fish, some chop meat, some light the fire, and others look after the children. Men grill chicken, pork, or river fish over the embers. Women prepare sticky rice, wash herbs, arrange flowers, and set up the ceremonial trays. The beauty of a Laotian wedding lies not only in the attire or the music, it lies in the feeling that everyone contributes to building the joyous day for the young couple. Guests don't necessarily have to bring expensive gifts. They can give rice, food, money, or practical items for the family's life. These gifts are not meant to show off wealth. They are a wish that the couple will have the means and support to start their new life. The first part of the ceremony is usually solemn with blessings from the elders. The bride wears a traditional, handcrafted dress, adorned with flowers and jewelry, showcasing her family's pride. After the ceremony, food is served and rice wine is passed from small cups. Drinking together is a way of showing friendliness and welcoming guests into the community circle. As the music began, the atmosphere quickly shifted from solemn to joyful. Adults chatted, young people danced, and children ran around the food tables. The boundaries between hosts and guests gradually disappeared. Everyone ate, laughed, and shared this important moment for both families. Community weddings show that marriage in Laos is not just about love between two people. It's also about bonding with parents, relatives, neighbors, and the entire village. Number 2. Nong Pha Lake, a deep body of water in Laos. Deep within the forests of Adaphu province in southern Laos lies a deep blue lake, considered both beautiful and sacred by the locals, and even referred to as forbidden. This is Lake Nong Pha, often known as the Paradise Lake, one of the country's most mysterious places. To reach the lake, visitors must leave the riverside towns and travel along steep roads through the dense forest. After a long journey, Nong Pha Lake unexpectedly appears like a giant green mirror nestled amidst the mountains and forests. Mist often lightly covers the water's surface, while trees grow close to the shore, creating a secluded and tranquil atmosphere. It is believed the lake lies within the crater of an ancient volcano that has been dormant for thousands of years. Rainwater gradually accumulates in the basin, forming the lake with its distinctive green color. However, what makes Nong Pha famous is not just its geological origins. The exact depth of the lake has long been the subject of speculation, leading locals to believe it has no bottom. Some stories claim that beneath the surface lies a passageway to the spiritual world. Other legends speak of the Naga serpent, or a giant creature guarding the lake and its secret treasures. For the communities living nearby, Nong Pha is not simply a scenic spot to visit. It is sacred water that must be approached with caution and respect. People generally avoid swimming, making noise, or engaging in any actions considered to disturb the area. Stories of people suffering misfortune after offending the lake have been passed down through generations. While the veracity of these legends remains uncertain, they strongly influence how people behave when approaching Nong Pha. Visitors may only see the blue water, the mist, and the tranquil forests, but for the locals, beneath the surface may lie the presence of forces that have protected this land for centuries. The combination of the ancient volcanic crater and folk beliefs creates the unique allure of Nong Pha. It is not just a beautiful lake, but also a point of intersection between nature and the spiritual world of the Lao people. In a country where mountains, caves, and rivers are all believed to be connected to spirits, Nong Fa is like a mysterious mirror. It reflects the sky above while concealing stories whose existence beneath the water's surface remains uncertain. Number 1. Nightlife in Laos. Laos has a unique character where the nights seem noisier than the day. The city doesn't try to entice you with huge clubs, endless traffic, flashing billboards, and music echoing through the streets. Instead, night falls slowly, almost politely, like a gentle shadow on the Mekong River. In Vientiane, as the sun begins to set, the city doesn't suddenly become bustling, it seems to breathe a sigh of relief. The heat on the sidewalks gradually subsides. Motorbikes glide by with their engines running softly. Families stroll towards the riverbank. Food stalls open one by one, releasing the aromas of grilled meat, noodles, fried foods, herbs, and charcoal smoke into the warm evening air. The Mekong River turns a deep yellow, then copper, then black, carrying the last rays of light away from the capital. At the night market, life is very peaceful. Vendors display silk scarves, handcrafted handbags, small souvenirs, clothing, bracelets, and simple household items under rows of lights. Tourists move slowly, undisturbed by crowds or overwhelmed by noise. Sellers can smile, quote prices, and wait patiently without being pressured. Couples sit near the riverbank. Friends gather at small tables, drinking Lao beer while the water sparkles beside them. It's the nightlife, but not the kind that makes you forget where you are. It constantly reminds you that you're in Laos. In Prabang, the night is even gentler. The royal old town, famous for its temples and quiet streets, seems to preserve its tranquility after nightfall. The market shimmers under warm lights. Orange robes can be seen hidden behind temple walls. Wooden houses, colonial-era French balconies, and narrow alleyways evoke the feeling of a town that has welcomed countless travelers, but still retains its unique character. In Bokeo, bright neon lights illuminate casinos, karaoke bars, hotels, and entertainment venues. Bright purple, pink, and blue lights shine in front of small shops. Chinese signs appear alongside Lao, writing, The influence of Chinese tourists and businesses is evident on some streets, creating a scene quite different from the bamboo villages and temple courtyards seen earlier on the trip. This contrast is fascinating. On the other hand, there's a dazzling array of casino lights, border currency, karaoke rooms, and promises of quick entertainment. Yet, even there, the deeper rhythm of Lao life doesn't entirely disappear. Beyond the bright signs, the surrounding streets can still feel subdued. A local family might close their shop early. A motorbike might glide along slowly. Someone might sit on plastic chairs, speaking softly as if the neon lights belonged to another world. That's the strange beauty of Lao nightlife. It's not just a single scene, it's a mirror reflecting the entire country. Tradition and modernity, local and foreign, quiet and captivating, simple and ever-changing. The country offers you mountain villages, sticky rice, ancient jars, sacred caves and river festivals, as well as night markets, casino lights, karaoke rooms, and peaceful strolls along the Mong River. And perhaps that's why the final image of Laos shouldn't be a noisy party. It should be a riverside at night. A few small food stalls shimmering under soft lights. Each video is meticulously produced, from researching destinations and planning to editing and selecting the most memorable images. Our goal is to bring you closer to the world and help you discover lands, cultures, and stories you may never have heard before. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next explorations.
cho số tiền là thay có lý cho
nhớ số của nó mấy hôm mong mong à
họ chỉ có mèo lý cho
của mèo
em mới cho họ nhớ đầu tiên được phải nhớ thế đó rồi
chia cho nhớ đâu bây giờ chia chú gì
ở chung một xã hội sông bây giờ
Thank you.